Oh. Hi, Gay DeRusso with the Majestic Rider. So another trail tip for you today. We have very busy trails in California and we see lots of crazy stuff. Sometimes it's things we've never seen before. So the best thing to do when your trails are busy is you prepare your horse as much as you can. So one, lunge it or run it around before you ride it, change in directions, bringing the speed up and down to get some energy out so when they see those things they're not as scared. Two, expose them to all the things. You'll see in lots of my videos, I'm using flags and bikes and all different things so the horses get used to those things. So when they see them out there, it's not a big surprise. So anytime you see a motorcycle, an ATV, a bike, go towards it. If you're at home and on the ground, walk the horse up to it, let it investigate it, and let it see all those things at home so it's comforting. And if you don't have those things, you do it. Ride your bike and do all the different desensitizing stuff you see me do, but you can make up your own just so you get your horse used to lots of things. Now, when you get on the trail, again, when you have to pass those things, you try to keep a bubble around your horse. The horse has a bubble, just like people do, around them, and that's that horse's safety bubble. So some horses, that safety bubble is huge. It's like 100 feet around them, and anything closer than that, they'll freak out. Some horses, because they've been exposed or they have a calm temperament, their bubble is just 5 feet, and as long as the object's there and not right on top of us, they feel safe and they do fine. So what you're trying to do is expose your horse and then slowly make that bubble smaller and smaller so you can be by the things and not have your horse freak out. Now, something else to know is when you're passing things and say you're on a single track or a trail that's not very wide, if you have room, you try to get your horse out of the way because anything that's super close, especially if your horse is not used to it and it's going right by you, if that horse freaks out, they can take the object out because they can freak out and smash into that object, and the object can also get attached to you because you have stirrups. So you don't want anything happening like that. So I always get off the trail. If there's bikes and it's a new horse, I take it where there's fire trails, let it get exposed, but I let it have that big bubble, and I'm always taking it off the trail. And then as the horse gets better over time, which means many trail rides, I slowly get closer and closer and stay closer on the trail for the bike to go by. And that way it does it in steps so it's not as scary for the horse. And every horse is different on how long it takes you to get closer to it, okay? But you always must remember, a lot of bikers don't want to go right next to horses because they don't want to get kicked in the head if something bad happens. So you're trying to protect yourself, protect the horse, but also protect the biker. So if you have room, even if your horse is fine and bikes are passing, get off the trail, give them some room. These are four-wheel drive. So take it off the trail, let it walk over rocks and other things as the biker goes by and keep all of you safe. Because bikers can hit things and fall, and they could fall right into your horse. So you're trying to avoid that if possible. Now, if you have to get off the trail because there's no room and you have the choice to go up a hill or down a hill, I go up. When you're up above the object, the horses usually aren't as scared, and they can always climb up more, even though it might be scary for you to come back down. But you'll be above the object, and the horse usually feels more secure and usually won't act up as much. When you're below the object and things are shooting by like bikers, they can look like mountain lions, and the horse will think it's going to jump off and grab their throat because that's what they do. So they like to get up high and then attack if possible to get to their throat because that's how they kill them. So some horses are fine, but other ones are always better if they're up above it versus below it. When I take the horse off the trail and I either go up above it or below it, depending on what choices I have, I always turn the horse to face the object like I'm facing you, the camera. It's much better if the horse is facing it versus it's coming up behind it. So if I don't get off the trail well enough, and my horse's hind quarter is facing the object and that horse gets nervous, the horse will want to get the object away, and the way it does that is to kick. So you don't want to kick any bikers or any hikers or anything like that. So you're always trying to keep the back end away and face it with the front end. So again, if I went off the trail because a biker was coming and we had to go down a hill like this, what I would do is get down the hill, look for the biker and say, hey, just wait a minute, turn, and then I'd be like, okay, go ahead. Now, if I'm hanging down the hill with the butt down the hill, again, the horse usually is not going to buck. It's more likely to rear. So I'll kind of sit like this, but if I feel it throwing its head down or something, then I might sit back. If the horse is nervous, I try to keep moving its feet and disengaging its hindquarters back and forth, like I said, with the little dance, just because that will help keep that horse from rearing up. So again, if you can go above the object, go above. If you can't and you go below it, again, always face uphill and towards the object, and make sure that that horse is moving its back feet a little bit so it makes it more comfortable. Horses don't like to be confined. They like to feel they can run away. And if you give them that option by letting them move the feet, it imitates that feeling and they'll feel more secure with you. All right, I hope that helps. Remember to like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you see when new videos are up.